Hello and welcome, listeners, to podcast number 24. My Instant Pot review. This is just a review of the Instant Pot that I just finished using right before writing this podcast. So, in the Instant Pot, I made a roast recipe from the book. However, you know me and my howevers, I go instant that, which doesn't really... It did not turn out the way I had hoped. Because I thought the meat would have been juicy and succulent, but it was far from that. All throughout the cooking process, the Instant Pot was steaming and looking like the meat would have been yummy, but it was so much further from that. I mean, when I took the meat out at first, it was like I hoped. It was, succulent, juicy. But after about 5-10 minutes of sitting on the counter, it became dry as a bone in the Sahara Desert where there's no rain at all. I mean, it was so dry, I needed a glass of milk, a liquid to help me get it down. So the meat was not very good, I'd say. About a 3 out of 10. Then there was the carrots, parsnips, and potatoes, and vegetable. The stuff on top was pretty good, but it was, flavor was there, texture wasn't there. I mean, it was mushy. I mean, when I went to go pick it up, it just fell apart in the tongs, and I had to just scoop it up with the side of the tongue. It was basically like eating baby food. However, it tasted good, so the vegetables get a score of, I wouldn't say 5. It says here 5, but I'm kind of rethinking that. I'd say about a 3. And now, here's what I really didn't like. The chicken broth, mustard, and other stuff I put in to create the sauce completely solidified and formed this black, claggy mess on the bottom. I mean, it wasn't sticky or anything, but it just became this black hunk of blech that all the vegetables stuck out. And it was like glue that you was pick up Play-Doh on. And it was like a piece of paper, all was jammed into a piece of cardboard, and you could pick that up and break it, and it wasn't very pleasant. So, if I ever do think about doing that kind of recipe in the Instant Pot again, then I'll be sure to look online for a recipe that is better. And it didn't look anything like the meat, vegetables, and everything didn't look like it did in the picture. So I give the final score of the Instant Pot a 3. So that is 3 3s out of 3 10s. And the preparation, wasn't that different from the slow cooker, because you just basically put everything in and turn it on. And if I ever do that recipe again, I'm going to do that sauce thing. I'm going to mix the sauce in a different bowl and make it a bit thicker, because the sauce recipe that they gave me was just a liquid. That didn't do nothing. So I'm going to mix it, make sure mix everything in the sauce thoroughly, so no piece of anything goes out uncovered. And I'm going to add a little bit of extra water, because I think that'll make it not so sticky. And I think what caused that black, claggy mess was the sauce dripping off the food and just caramelizing at the bottom, which create that burnt layer that all the veggies stuck to. That was not very pleasant. Made me think I didn't do a right thing. Anything else about the slow cooker I'd like to say? Oh yeah! There's one more thing. when it's getting up to temperature, it makes quite a lot of noises. And when it's cooking, it goes pss, pop, pop, and it makes some squeaky noises. And you think it's not quite working properly, so you get a little worried. But it's probably just the steam escaping or the liquid cooking away. I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to do. But it being my very first time, I'm not quite sure whether it was going the right way. But for next time, now I do know it is going the right way. So, overall, the Instant Pot this time around, I didn't find it was that successful. No, not very. And I think I'm going to learn from my mistakes next time. So, that's all I have for you right now for this podcast. And hope you listen next time. Toodle bit.